All right. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Humpday. Happy Fuck the Eyes Ages Day. That's right. Friday is coming up. That's right. 2 days away. It's going to be Happy Fuck the Eyes Ages Day 3 times, baby. We got some good video clipped up. We'll start with this one. This one's a good one. I will be impeaching Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. This is coming from Representative Robert Kelly from Illinois.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to announce I will be impeaching Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Secretary Noem has violated the Constitution and she needs to be held accountable for terrorizing our communities. Operation Midway Blitz has torn apart the Chicagoland area. President Trump declared war on Chicago, and then he brought violence and destruction to our city and our suburbs in the form of immigration enforcement. In my district, federal agents rappelled down from Black Hawk helicopters and burst into an apartment building in the South Shore area. They dragged U.S. citizens and non-citizens alike out of their beds in the middle of the night. They claimed the apartment was infiltrated by members of a Venezuelan gang. I don't understand this president's obsession with Venezuela.
That's what happened in Portland. They're trying to say they shot 2 Venezuelan gang members, which is bullshit lie.
That gang. I visited that apartment building and saw firsthand the destruction those agents left. Doors to people's homes or apartments were kicked down. Belongings, including little kids' toys, were strewn about in the hallway. That raid and so many others shook our community, not just immigrants, but everyone. Now Secretary Noem has brought her reign of terror to Minneapolis after she left Charlotte and Raleigh. We have all seen what happened. An ICE officer shot and killed Renee Nicole Good.
Yep, point blank in the face, execution style, cold-blooded murder. And I've seen videos too. I mean, we're just ICE agents out there, fully masked, don't even know who they are, breaking down people's homes and apartments, dragging them out of bed, and even hog-tying, handcuffing little kids. It's disgusting, the shit you see. And it makes you wonder, are we in Russia? Are we in Germany?
Without knowing any of the facts or an investigation, Secretary
Know Germany did that back in the 30s and 40s. Russia, they were doing that in the 80s.
37-year-old mom a domestic terrorist. Secretary Noem and her rogue agents are the ones terrorizing our communities, and she is breaking the law to do so. I will hold her accountable, and I'm filing 3 articles of impeachment against Secretary Noem. Number 1, obstruction of Congress. Secretary Noem has denied me and other members of Congress oversight of ICE detention facilities. It is our constitutional duty to find out what's happening in these centers where people are reportedly being treated like less than animals.
People have their amendment rights.
Violation of public trust. Secretary Noem directed ICE agents to arrest people without warrants, use tear gas against citizens, and ignore due process.
It's like
she claims she's taken murderers and rapists off.
Like Jesse Ventura says, yeah, you got the draft dodge right there.
Arrested during Operation Midway Blitz has been charged or convicted of murder or rape. 3, self-dealing. Secretary Noem has abused her power for personal benefit. She steered a federal contract to a new firm run by a friend, her friend. Her propaganda campaign to recruit ICE agents cost taxpayers $200 million. She made a video that turned the South Shore raid into something that looked more like a movie trailer. But make no mistake, this is not a movie. This is real life, and real people are being hurt and killed. I really have to wonder who are the people behind the mask. These DHS agents have no identifying factor. From all their botched raids and officer-involved shootings, I have to ask, what is their training like? What is the vetting? Is Secretary Noem recruiting January 6th insurrectionists?
Good question.
I was one of the last members of Congress to escape the House gallery on January 6th. I remember hiding on my hands and knees and running through the hallways to a safe room. Insurrectionists are not fit to serve as law enforcement. I realize that impeachment of Secretary Noem does not bring Renee back.
And the thing about was, remember the January 6th rioters were going around. Did any of the law enforcement use their guns or shoot people, aim at people? Like, nah, they were using their batons and mace and taser, trying to hold them back. Right, and Trump was going them good kind, special people, condoning that. The only officer that ever pulled his gun was when he fired in self-defense to keep Ashley Babbitt from breaching the White House area.
True justice would be Renee alive today, at home with her family. Impeachment doesn't bring back the 4 other people killed by immigration officers this year, including a man in Chicago. We cannot bring them back to their loved ones. What we can do, though, is impeach Secretary Nome. Hold her accountable. Let her know the public is watching. In this country, we do not kill people in cold blood without consequences. These are not
So as the old
policies
saying,
or
if you can't do the
agreements.
time,
These are
don't do the
violations
crime.
of her oath of office, and she must answer for her impeachable actions.
And Jonathan Ross needs to pay dearly for unaliving Renee Nicole Good. All right, you got another one right here.
Ron, what did you make of Kristi Noem's appearance with Jake Tapper on CNN the other day? I know you wrote about it. What did you make of that?
I thought it was the end of her career as DHS. I mean, I think that I think it was her worst interview that she's ever given, and that's saying something. I thought Tapper did a good job, which I also don't say very often, and I thought it was a complete disaster. I mean, she was wretched. The things that she continued, her and Caroline Levitt, they continue to attack this woman, call her a lunatic, a radical, all these names. This is a dead mom, and they continue to personally attack her, before her body.
Yeah, they were calling her sadistic.
It was just a bizarre interview.
They're trying to
knee-jerk.
They're trying to go through her like social media and what kind of an activist. Who cares?
The smart way to do it is to say,
then they dogpile and say, "Oh, she's a dyke and a lesbian." So,
and then rig the investigation and have it turn out the way you want in a month when everybody's moved on and to other controversies.
Right.
But no, this administration can't do it that way. They've got to just trash the victim, completely over the top, defend this ICE officer before any investigation's even done.
No, then you got this mega fucktard to go around saying, "Oh, it's ultimate. Oh, Jonathan Ross is a hero."
She has no friends left inside the Trump administration. There's really like nobody running interference for her anymore. It seems like she's become a liability for them, an embarrassment for them. And I think that Holman wants somebody else. I think Stephen Miller wants somebody else. I think everybody around
Remember
Trump
how
wants
stupid she
somebody
looked with
else
that
in that
cowboy
position,
hat
and
on the
Trump
other
is
day?
kind of
My
looking for
God.
a way, an off-ramp here.
Yeah.
But Noem is using this position to run for president in 2028. So, I mean, she's not going to go quietly.
Just absolutely absolute insanity. So, Ron, even you retweeted this yesterday. My friend Robbie Roadsteamer, the guy who wears the giraffe outfit, right? He's coming on the show tomorrow. This is the second time now he's been arrested.
The guy that drives the giraffe and sings.
From that video, and I spoke to Robbie yesterday, he's not doing anything wrong.
No.
He's just using it. He's not violent. He's just using his First Amendment rights and singing songs, and he's a comedian. And they rough him up, they arrest him, and I'm thinking to myself, what is the excuse? And I guess they cite him, they claim that he was blocking traffic, which, by the way, he wasn't. I mean, he's not the only one. I mean, there's a lot of people that are being arrested for doing nothing wrong, but using their First Amendment rights. Yes, there are some people that are violent. There's a small percentage of people that are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. But what do you make of this stuff? What do you make of these agents on the streets arresting people for just doing what Robbie was doing?
Yeah, except free speech. I mean, come on. You got ICE agents going to people's workplaces. It was like, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I mean, they were going to a Target, and then they arrested a Target employee, and then they arrested his buddy employee. And you know what they did with that Target guy? The guy, they're just saying F you, F ICE. You know what they did? They probably roughed him up and put him back in their little cruiser, and he dumped in a Walmart parking lot. And we'll get to that after this video as well. I got it lined up, ready to go. It's just ludicrous. It's like when you get arrested by a cop, at least you can see their face, you get to know their name and badge number. I mean, these guys trying to hide their face, don't even know they got told on anonymity, what did they call it? I mean, it's crazy. People just simply exercise free speech. I mean, ICE agents were storming a McDonald's where a security guard hold the place. Like, hey, you coming back here? It's getting so ridiculous that the Latino and Latina workers have to go like in an area so that way they're not outside pushing cars or they're putting in the window or like a drive-through window because they're afraid these people and these Latino workers are just trying to make money. You are a citizen. That's why workplace is so afraid they're going to steal the workers. So that's why they're putting them over like a assignment area over here and there. Because I mean, most Latinos, they're just working. I got some Latinos down the street where I am. They're in lawn care business, landscaping like that. I mean, ICE comes around here, they're gonna get their mitts on that. I got a friend in Tampa Bay, she's Latina, but she was born here in the States. She's purely terrified. She's afraid that they're gonna round her up, her kids, her family. It's crazy.
Again, they're just completely overplaying their hand. They're taking an issue that the American people was largely behind them on a year ago, which is doing deportations of a significant number of migrant
but
people that are in the United States.
They were criminals, hardcore criminals.
They're turning a lot of those people against them
because they're going after innocent people.
This whole situation.
Because Trump and his goons got the no hold barred, OK Corral kind of shit.
Costumes and stuff. And, I will say that was National Guard in that situation, and they largely conducted themselves with restraint. But now we're talking about Border Patrol and ICE who have zero restraint. They have their faces are covered, their names are not on their uniforms, they have
total
automatic weapons and camo. There are all these wannabe commandos. They all maybe wanted to be in Fallujah or Afghanistan, but didn't have the guts or the courage or the physical ability to do it.
They're the kind of
so
dudes
now
that
they
fail
joined
boot camp.
ICE, which is pretty much taking everyone off the street now. It was just a great article in Slate this morning.
$50 bonus, and you got dumbass say, hell, I'll sign up for that.
ICE agents.
I'm gonna go out there and kick ass, like the OK Corral day, like the Alamo day.
And she wasn't even really trying to get the job. They're basically hiring every person, warm body off the street, and they're giving them automatic weapons and 47 days of training and putting them out into the American cities.
Yeah, that's that.
That's why these incidents.
It's just like dirty cause. Well, how many days of training they get? 60.
They love getting arrested. That's why they're out there. I mean, they're what they want to do is they want to peacefully protest. But if an ICE agent in a heavy-handed way arrests them or uses force on them over the top for no apparent reason, that just is a gift to a protester. It gives them attention. It gets people like me and others to retweet the video because, look, if he had done something to provoke that, I wouldn't have retweeted that, and that happens from time to time. But he did nothing. I mean, he was just standing there in his costume. The bottom line is these guys get angry and upset and mad that people are messing with them. And police officers have a lot.
I mean, it's like when the fraudsters, the frauditors out there like Todd, Brooklyn Audits, Joey. I mean, they deserve it on themselves. There's a few frauders out there. But we're talking about peaceful protesters who stand for the rights, or people that are sick and tired of having their rights violated by dirty cops and ICE agents and corruption out there. Yeah, that's what I'm all about. Like fraudsters, no, they deserve it on themselves. They want to stick a camera face somebody trying to get for his lawsuit and all that clicks and views. Nah, they deserved it. The negative attention. But these people are just innocent out there protesting, exercise the First Amendment freedom of speech, which is just that.
I taught at a police academy for 9 years. They have a lot of training in how to de-escalate.
Yeah. My neighbor Daryl down the street is a retired Tacoma detective.
These ICE guys do
and he told me this shit is disgusting.
Right, and that's what I want to talk to you about. If you're just joining us, Ron Filipkowski, the editor-in-chief of Midas Touch. Let's talk a little bit about basic protocols. And you know a thing or two about this from your years as an attorney as well. Department policy when it comes to cell phone use, they discourage it, right? And I've been told for official evidence, because it bypasses proper chain of custody and discovery rules. You're not supposed to be standing in front or behind a vehicle. It's a fundamental safety protocol that clearly he broke. Officers are trained not to leave the scene after an officer-involved shooting for a lot of different reasons, including evidence and other duties where you need to cooperate with an initial investigation.
And cops only use their cell phones, like most of the time it's probably a department issue or the user phone, only to take pictures or take videos of evidence of a crime scene. They don't just go out there and start filming people just for the heck of it, or just like you're trying to agitate somebody like that.
You're also supposed to be providing some sense of emergency medical attention. He didn't even check her pulse These are just a few things. And you mentioned de-escalation. What about the second officer who says, get the F out of the vehicle, tries to pull the door, doesn't say, hi, I'm officer, blah, 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 blah. Ma'am, here's what I'm going to need you to do. Nothing like that. I mean, forget about whether people think.
Yeah, then Jonathan Ross, point blank shoots in the face. Yeah, he shoots in the blade. Her car appears on, smash into another vehicle, and all he said was, you fucking bitch. Like, wow, who says that?
I think it was self-defense or not. Obviously, I don't think it was self-defense, but what about all the basic protocols that these officers broke?
Yeah, not only do they make no effort to de-escalate, but they actually are the ones who escalate everything themselves. And they for people who wear masks and stuff, they sure do love being on camera because like their guy Bobino walks around everywhere he goes. He's got a camera crew filming him.
Very strange. Very
wearing
strange.
makeup. He's like 5'2", and he's got platform boots on. And
he's right. You got a lot of these ICE agents that go out there, and people are just they're not following them around. They probably see a couple ICE agents. They get their camera, start filming, or they try to go to a place like what happened at churchgoer on Sunday. ICE agents like, oh, you're following me around, da da da. It's like they're trying to tell people you can't be out there. Oh, you go home. You're like, oh, we got martial law like that. Then you got these ICE agents coming at your face, screaming at you with their mask on like that, saying, oh, if you film us or you're following, you will be arrested and prosecuted. 18 USC 111, something like that. Which is, 18 USC 111 is, something like impeding their investigation, obstruction, or assault, like that. But none of these guys are going up to ICE. They're just down the road, mind their business, probably going through point A to point B, or just recording. They're documenting. It's like what news does.
This guy, like I don't know.
Most cops will tell you, hey, you can record what you want.
Something out there, like he thinks he's
but you got ICE coming out here saying you can't record us. You do not have permission. You're interviewing my federal investigation.
They escalate and antagonize. They yell back. They curse back. These are things you never see police officers do. I mean, because police officers would be fired if they did this kind of stuff, cursing, F you, bitch, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Like, they know not to do that because most of them have body cameras.
Yeah, and then you got these ICE agents. I mean, you hardly ever see a cop disrespecting them. I mean, you see a couple videos here and there, but most, they show you respect. Respect is earned. It's not like you just don't get it like that. It's like, I'm the type of person, you respect me, I'll respect you back. But if you disrespect me like that, then you got Trump, all these people like, oh, it's disrespect. What's a crime like when you say F you, or you honk your horn, or say fuck guys, or demolish? Oh, it's crazy. Like, but and they're the ones who are taking knives like that. And these ISIS are the one calling people, despicable, morons, calling scum, pieces of shit, or cowards. These are the cowards. These are the jack bootlicker domestic terrorists. These are the real fucking Jews.
Have car cams. They know that they're being recorded.
Yeah.
So they try and be on their best behavior whenever possible. Look, I was a criminal defense lawyer for 29 years. I've seen every kind of police video encounter you can imagine. And so I know what I'm talking about. Sure, there's bad cops out there. They really do try not to get themselves in trouble by being idiots. But I can tell you, in watching a lot of these videos of these ICE guys, they don't care about any of that. They're not worried because they know that their superiors will back them.
Yeah.
No matter what they do. No matter
and plus they're going to get full immunity.
They use if they shoot somebody, if they curse at somebody, no matter what they do, unprofessional behavior, none of them will ever be disciplined. So this is getting out. This word's getting out to these guys. Look, one of our boys just shot somebody and killed somebody, and they're calling him a hero.
Yeah.
Noam and Holman are calling
him people call him hero.
Calling him a hero. So obviously, this is the word has gone out to all these guys.
You know what's more of a bitch up to? I mean, you got ICE out there going at the people and say, "Oh, haven't you learned? Oh, are you afraid? Well, you should be." I kid you not.
That they can do whatever they want, and they can get away with it, and nobody will do anything about it.
Sadly, I agree with you. Last question about this. Do you think there's going to be any chance of an independent investigation? Now, obviously, I don't think that's going to happen. That's what people like the Tim Waltzes of the world and the mayor there in Minneapolis, they're begging for an independent investigation. Obviously, they're not going to allow them to help in the investigation. It's not going to be a joint investigation. Do you think there's any chance that there will actually be a real independent investigation?
The state of Minnesota, the DA there does not have to let the feds preempt them on this, and this guy does not have immunity despite what some of these officials are claiming. If they really have a will, they could attempt to prosecute this person. Now, if the federal government is objecting, obviously that is going to cause a major political ramifications. I predict
6 federal prosecutors resigned yesterday.
All federal funding from Minnesota, but it appears he's pretty much doing that anyway, whether they pursue that or not. And by the way, all the Minnesota fraud cases, the welfare fraud stuff, the Somalis that they've been screaming about, the prosecutors who all just resigned were running that investigation. So if you want your Somali fraud people prosecuted, the prosecutors who have been working on that case for 5 years all just quit because of this good case. So there you go.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you one more quick question about this. As a former attorney, you know a thing or two about this. Obviously, I don't think that protesters should be getting in the faces of these people. They're unhinged. But there's certain things, and there's certain things you can't do. So clear this up for me from a legal perspective. I wouldn't advise anybody to follow ICE officers. I don't think it's a smart thing to do. I think only bad things can happen from that. But are you legally allowed, with a safe distance, to follow ICE officers? Is that allowed?
Yeah, I have no problem with the following. I mean, obviously, look, anytime you put yourself out there like that, you're taking some risks.
Well, it's like I remember back then. I know some people who would, trying to do cop watch. They're going to look for some cherry berries. They go out there looking for cops so they can do a cop watch. And most cops are like, there's no problem with that. They're filming like if you're a traffic stop or a scene, you can film like that. I know people who used to do that. Go live, looking for cherries and berries, and they get a scene like that. And they feel that. Chuck Bronson's another one. Henry Freewell's another one that goes out looking for cherry berries. And most of the cops they have no problem with that. As long as you do it for safety, as long as you're not interfering with them, everything's fine.
And I think that Renee Good should have had to know that, should have known that when you're going out there and you're confronting ICE, and you have a vehicle. I don't think she certainly could have anticipated she would be shot and killed, but you got to know that you're at least could be arrested. So yeah, I don't have a problem with the honking of the horns, the blowing the whistles. That is the kind of stuff that really seems to bother these guys, and that is all totally good.
Oh, people bang on their drums, what happened?
The two things you got to really be careful about is the doxing stuff.
The slander doxing.
Getting on, communicating locations, movements, raid locations, or blocking in their vehicles. Getting in the middle of the road, blocking them in, or hemming them in a parking space. Those are the things that are going to, probably get you in trouble.
It's like so many people go around just doxing, like slander, when you're degrading, belittling their character, call them frauds and pigs like that. Some people might think about that. All right, let's see here.
And it's particularly worse when Bovino goes around. I mean, there's a reason why you see the greatest amount of violence when Bovino's there, because then all of these losers who work for him and are so embarrassed by it that they cover their faces with masks. They need to show off and provide him with some violence so that he feels good.
Clip lined up, ready
so
to go.
He needs something to go back to his hotel and get some R&R with. So the thoughts of the violence provide him, his release at the end of the day, I guess.
Ice kidnaps and torture.
But here he is going into I think this is a Target.
Yeah.
And this story has come out in bits and pieces, but apparently what happens is there is an observer there at Target. I don't know if the guy worked at Target. I think he did.
He worked there.
And he saw that ICE is coming there. And so he's recording them. And then they all basically gang tackle this guy who's an American citizen. Mm-hmm. We have this in 3 parts and ends up getting beat up and just left out on the side of the road.
You doing all right? Huh? I'm not doing all right.
What's that?
I'm not doing all right. I'm not doing all right. Back up. Yo. See that? Go to the recording. We're here. What's that doing? Go back up. your face.
Absolutely. Oh, back up. I'm walking here. Back up.
Like that. Push up.
Hey, that's what a nice guy.
I go, fuck.
Good.
Fuck you. Fuck all
You
y'all.
realize how small Bovino
Hey,
is.
you guys American
Anyways.
citizens?
Fuck you. Huh? None of your business. That's what.
The wall there. All right.
See that?
Getting his phone out.
And again, what they're doing when they do that, is they have a database, and they're either adding you to that database as just as an activist, or they're comparing your picture to a database.
Or that. You know what? And that's the thing too. You know what they're doing? Around people like that, if it's saying your activism or a sovereign citizen, they're going to go to your social media and see what kind of community posts you make, what kind of videos you make, or what kind of things you say. Oh, do you have the same for Trump or the administration? Do you have the same for ICE or police officers out there? That's what they're going to do. And to see that you do, or you talk crap about ICE and cops or Trump, they're going to say, oh, this guy's a domestic terrorist. He's a threat to our national security.
That assesses your immigration status or your citizenship status. Again, not whether you've committed any crime, not whether you've committed any civil violation. If you are here and awaiting asylum meetings, you are here legally. All right, continue. Just getting my app
Blocking
together,
traffic.
guys.
Look at that. Bunch of y'all right there.
Again, this part is the big tech boondoggle of the fascist takeover of our country. There's contracts for all these companies that are providing this, and they should be protested as much as these brown shirt thugs.
We should also be clear, this is not investigations. This is not enforcement. This is, I'm going to teach you that you can't make fun of me.
It's intimidation.
This is
they're trying to flex their power.
exactly. This is like the baby bullying on out at recess. I'm going to show you that I'm the one wearing the uniform here. This is about as
I'm a
small
federal agent.
man story as you can possibly get.
And in stature.
I'm a federal. You're just saying Kumanaka Timotida.
Right there. Fuck you. Fuck every single one of y'all. Look at that.
Just gonna get a pic. Hold on.
Go ahead, take a pic right there.
All right, let me get one of this guy here.
Here, take a pic. You want here? You want take here? Take one of this one too. Yellow video in the air. Yep. Fuck you. Yep. Here, take a picture of that.
Hey, don't touch him. Don't touch him. What are you doing? Come on. Yo. Yeah, he works it.
Yep. He was a target worker.
Look at that.
Fuck you. Or what? Fuck you.
Look at that. Look.
Now look at that.
Look at him grabbing him.
There's not a single thing that guy is doing other than swearing at that
Protect the First Amendment, free speech.
Not a single thing he's
That's
doing.
all it is.
He's walking.
He did not initiate contact. He is walking backwards throughout the entire process.
Free speech.
This guy just doesn't like being made fun of.
No. That's what he is. They're like a dirty cop. They don't like when you take a swing in the fresh little hurdy feelers.
They jump this guy.
Oh, you make fun of me, so I'm gonna kick your ass.
Apparently he's a teenager.
Don't tread on me. Free speech. All that
yeah.
bullshit that we
Yeah,
get
yeah.
for years now. That like you're keeping me from mocking trans people.
Or the fact that you had to get vaccinated and maybe had a card to enter some businesses at some point. This is literally
it's like,
you're
pro
people's papers and the boot of the state beating people up for daring to
you're against
document the human rights atrocities.
Oh, you're one of those cockroaches out of there.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
6 of them? 5 of them? Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You guys are all on video.
One standing there, two standing there. There's 7 of them.
7 feds around the state.
7. That's right.
I
7.
think they grabbed the other guy too. At this point,
8.
7 fucking feds for one guy. That guy's free speech. Protecting the First Amendment.
What's your name? Jonathan Garcia. I'm literally a U.S. citizen. Give us a phone number. U.S. citizen. Get the fuck out of here, Race.
Why are you kidnapping our citizen? Why are you? Why?
Sir, give us your phone number. We'll call your family. Give us your phone number.
Jesus.
You know what they're doing? I can't. They're what else playing this video? Yeah, 2 of them are shoving it back in their cruiser. They're fucking kneeling, punching them.
What's your name? We'll find your family. Christian, what's your last name? What?
all right, there's that tall guy is now claiming that he was assaulted by the guy that he initiated contact with, that he tackled.
Family. Christian, what's your last name? What?
Hey, get back there now.
Give us what's the phone number we should call?
Okay, so he gives his phone number.
That's my mom. That's your mom?
Yeah, that's Mom.
And your first name's Christian, right?
Christian.
All right, now we're going to go to the third video where after the guy has been left out, right?
No, there's another part.
This is number
second
9,
part,
right?
Okay.
No, part
no,
3,
okay.
9.
part
Yes,
3.
number 9.
They found the teenager 8 minutes away.
This started at Target parking lot. They brought him, dumped him in a Walmart.
They dumped in a
That's the most
Walmart
American thing I've ever heard,
Yeah,
apparently.
the whole story, yeah.
I mean,
Not much infrastructure we have here.
here he is, and he has visible injuries.
This guy right here, they let him out of the vehicle. They tortured him. This guy right here, yeah. You okay, man? No, I'm not okay. Bro, shit's crazy. My man's bleeding. They slammed me on the...
Wow. Unfucking real.
We gotta be able to call somebody. This is ridiculous. You got family around? You got somebody here, man? Come on, we in here. Come on, man. You work here, don't you? No, I work at Target. You work, bro? Come on, bro. It's okay. You guys are so crazy. Man, slam this man up in the parking lot. Torture this guy.
He's 17, apparently.
Yeah.
So that's a child.
That's a minor.
That's child abuse, and we're seeing abuse of prisoners, of female detainees, assault, and they're holding migrant teens at this facility. Some of the migrant teens that they've rounded up in Pennsylvania, that's been known and has a documented history of sexual and physical abuse. It's almost like they're doing it on purpose.
How do we, as a country, how does our elected leaders allow for squads of fully armed and masked men to go around, abduct teenagers, American citizens, for simply swearing at them,
Except for free
put them in the
speech.
back of a car,
Then they torture them, beat them up,
and then dump them 10 minutes down the road?
Law enforcement.
How is it that we're allowing that to exist in this country? That's what we have now. I mean, you just saw, like, who knows how many more of these there are. We know that there are a dozen occasions of people being shot at by ICE agents in the course of their duty. And we only have good video on a couple. We saw when they murdered somebody. But how many of these instances do you think exist? Where we have footage from where the guy's being dumped off 10 minutes away. We watch as a 6'4" 5 masked, buffed up ICE agent.
Yeah, buffed up, juiced up
for
on
staring
Roy.
at him. You mock me, I'm going to tackle you. We're going to beat you up. We're going to shove you in the back of a car, and we're going to dump you on the side of the road. I mean, what the? This is the shit that we would talk about, like, you know, with and soon, right? Like, how far off
This is the shit
are we
what
from?
fucking
We're just going to
mobsters
dump
do.
the dead body on the side of the road.
They would do to kidnap somebody, rough them up to teach them a lesson.
Like the stuff that we
and
would
tell you, oh, don't
like, how
fuck
dare
with
we
us.
finance
Next
this shit
time
in
it's gonna be
Central
your life.
America?
How many deaths have happened in Alligator Alcatraz, and what's gonna and how, what it will change?
Four people detained in by ICE in immigration have died in 2026.
Yes, 32 people died in ICE custody in 2025. It was the agency's deadliest year in over 2 decades.
Yeah.
And we still don't have full transparency about that. How do we know? How do we know? It's a complete black box. They're blocking members of Congress from going into these facilities and checking on the conditions.
You had to have people staking out Alligator Alcatraz, checking for ambulances coming and going.
And nearly 75% of the people held in detention have no criminal convictions.
None.
As they talk about these being criminals. And as there were a lot of
drug,
people who took this at face value, I mean,
rapists.
we got to repeat this. Who led us down this road of fascism? It's the members of the media and the Democrats that thanked ICE or took this administration at face value and said, they're just going to go after the criminals, which, by the way, was the Obama deportation regime. That's what he prioritized. We knew exactly what they were going to do here.
Why are they going after people that are showing up? They were going after the hardcore criminals, naturalized as citizens.
The drug cartel, Mexican mafia, the kingpin, the John, the rapist.
There's another reason, and you just have to remember that ICE agents are cowards. And that is when they go into courthouses, they are checked for guns.
Also, ICE's budget now is equivalent to Israel's entire military budget, I believe. So, I mean, the point is that this is the imperial boomerang in many ways. This is fascism coming home. And if you're going to oppose Zionism and you're going to talk about that as the like existential threat that it is in the genocide in Gaza, you also have to oppose when those same systems are used here on Americans. And I don't care what your citizenship status is. These are Americans. These are our neighbors.
Yeah.
And these are the exact tactics you see in the West Bank.
Doesn't matter what color skin or race is it. These are U.S. legal citizens.
Like, I'm just sorry, but with the killing of Renee Good, like the way that this is like a kangaroo court situation, this is what happens with Israel and how they kill Palestinians. It's here now.
Look at the Democrats who thanked ICE, and just look at that list, and then just pick a name at random and see if they took money from the Israel lobby.
You have to hit the subscribe.
Here we go.
Again, this is not to glorify police officers or etc., but
they should be the standard.
Very, very helpful.
Yes.
To have people come out and say this. Larry Krasner did it. I think we played that, right? Clip the other day.
Well, she gives credit to Krasner.
This is at the same press conference. But the sheriff of Philadelphia, her name is Rochelle Bilal. This is what she had to say about ICE agents. And this is important. If you've got a sheriff who's willing to get out in front of doing this too, and you got the DA who's saying, like, I'll prosecute you, you come here, and you commit any type of crime. There should be Democrats, national Democrats, who are saying, one day, Democrats may get back to power. And if that day comes, there's going to be a day of reckoning for all of these people. That needs to happen. Every ICE agent who goes into the field needs to have in the back of their head, and they already do, they're wrapping it around their face. So you know it's there. But that seed of doubt, like, hey, am I going to get in trouble for this? That needs to be grown and nurtured, watered and fed, so that it grows inside them. Here's the sheriff of Philadelphia.
Good afternoon. I'm Rochelle Bilal, the sheriff for the city and county of Philadelphia. And I say her name, Renee Good.
Renee Good. Renee Good.
Renee Good.
Renee Good.
Renee Good.
Renee Good.
This should not have happened, but we're here today. let know that law enforcement professionals, real ones, not the fake made up ICE, probably Trump's new army to attack citizens of the United States. Did you hear what I said? No law enforcement professional wears a mask. None. None. Those that come into our communities wearing a mask to commit crime, I'm thankful.
You know what? And the thing was, the only time that police officers ever wore masks was during the pandemic time, when masks were federal law legally required. But masks haven't been federally legally required since April of 2022.
God for our district attorney, Larry Krasner, who said he's going to lock him up. And I'm saying now, we are not going to whisk you away for them to hide your identity, because when you do it there, you're getting arrested there. No whisk away for them to hide you. None of that here. None of that here. Law enforcement professionals do not shoot at moving vehicles. I'm not saying fleeing, because she wasn't fleeing. She was getting out of the way.
Yeah.
Law enforcement professionals do not stand in front of moving vehicles invoking an action that is illegal.
They're lying, saying she was stalking them for hours. Bull crap.
And so we stand here today with all those who stand against the made-up fake, what you can call ICE, professional law enforcement. I don't call them none of that.
But it's not a crime.
I call them made-up fake wannabe law enforcement.
Activism, our First Amendment
because what they do is against not only legal law, but the moral law. So I'm with the DA, and we will work with them. If any of them want to come in this city and commit a crime, you will not be able to hide. Nobody will wish you off. You don't want this smoke, because we will bring it to you. And the fake, whatever they call them, because I can't say the name, but the criminal in the White House would not be able to keep you.
Yeah, the draft dodger. Yeah.
Renee Good should be here today.
It's that is the message that we've basically been saying should be sent right now in Minneapolis. I mean, and I know that there's been some strong words on that front, and Jacob Fry has taken the opportunity to say some bad words.
To say get the fuck out, but not I'm going to prosecute you.
Yeah.
Because he's already given up that ground. Omar Fateh was writing on if ICE does something when they come here, that we have to prosecute them. And Fry was saying that was impractical. And now he's kind of boxing the corner because he still thinks that. He still thinks it's impractical, and he doesn't want to. And the larger problem is we don't have control over our police forces in this country. The cops in Minneapolis, they can prove me wrong, but my prejudice against them is that they're all, frankly, one step away from ICE agents, and they come from the suburbs themselves, and they're all, frankly, racial paranoiacs. Maybe I'm going to be proven wrong. I hope I am. But if you don't see them take any sort of stand against ICE, it will be because of that reason. Because they're not accountable to our democracy either.
And the lesson I think here is like that none of this is static. You can have leadership and you can have community solidarity create more oxygen for this kind of thing. Like, this is why local leadership right now is so important, because, and we saw that in the video of the woman with the DoorDash driver. If you feel like you have an infrastructure, whether it's your community, whether it's the police force that you work for that is going to have your back, or if you have a district attorney that's going to embolden you to like arrest these ICE agents, you are more willing to take that action. So this is not to absolve all of our many, many critiques of policing or engage in propaganda.
I watched the whole video of that.
Want to be sensitive to that very fact. But it is to say that we have to use the existing institutions that are available to us right now to fight back against fascism. And the way to do that is to make sure that police officers know that this is a part of protecting your community. And this is what is expected of you. And, it's good to see that regardless. Because also, in the end, even if they're from the suburbs and stuff like that, like this is still an outside force coming into your city or state or the area that you're from and terrorizing people that you know.
And in a mockery of public safety, which is supposed to be your whole thing. Because as anybody should know, sanctuary laws are not there because everyone has kumbaya feelings. They're there because it's good for public safety to not have people alienated from the public safety apparatus.
Absolutely. You need people to call EMS services. You need people to report that children are being abused. You need people to report that there's a fire, that somebody has been mugged. You need people to ID criminals happening. Yeah. And if the police are not, and this comes out of experience. This isn't a theory.
Like if a woman's molested or raped,
this comes out of years of public safety experience.
SBU.
You don't want parts of your community who are not willing to report crimes or emergencies because they're afraid that it's going to expose them to immigration enforcement. That's just like bottom line. It's just accepting the reality that there are people in this country who are undocumented. Now, let's also be clear. You've got a lot of people who are getting scooped up who are in fact documented. They may not be citizens, but they're documented. And they're getting deported and they're getting lost in the system or they're getting buried into this system. You have people who have come into this country who are undocumented but were brought in as kids.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole host of range of this, and you don't want significant portions of your community afraid of reporting to the police or to emergency services.
Chuck Schumer must go.
And this is not like a new thing.
That would happen. I got one.
You can look into our Constitution, and there's a reason why
I'll play the Schumer after
the census doesn't say count the citizens. It says count the people who are in the country at the time of the census.
Yeah.
This is the fight that the right is engaging in here, as we are going to be seeing increased migration due to climate change and due to the destabilization of other parts of the world. They are using citizenship status as a way to tier society and continue to create hierarchies.
Forever on Earth.
It's very easy to get citizenship in certain circumstances. Say, if you want to move to Israel, for example, damn, it's pretty easy to do that. But if you want to move to the United States and you're from Latin America, gosh, you've got to go through an essentially indentured servitude process that could take 15, 20 years. You see how different ways, you see the ways citizenship and legal status that's granted from that is being exploited by capitalism, by nation states to tier societies and to enforce the will of the state as they choose.
Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day.
All right, we'll fire up this clip.
Chris, did it make you feel better to have that conversation, or what would you say? No, I'm just saying, as a graduate of Roosevelt High School and as the former governor of Minnesota, I'm so proud of Roosevelt High School and how they stood up for what is supposed to be America and freedom. And freedom is not arresting people without warrants. We have a system here. It's called a Constitution. And we have a party, the Republicans, who don't seem to want to abide by the Constitution.
Amendment rights.
January 6th is a prime example of that. And now they're all free and they're in charge. You know what? Maybe it's time for Jesse. I only did one term. I'm owed a second.
Maybe not to come back for a second.
I went to school here. I'm a 1969 graduate of Minneapolis Roosevelt. I'm proud of them for what they did. They made me proud as an alumni. Go Teddies.
What are your thoughts? I know we're jumping in, probably doubling up on some of his questions, but what are some of your thoughts about what unfolded yesterday, and then after that, what you saw?
Well, I've told you already. We're a country of the Constitution. We have leadership now that has destroyed the Constitution. They don't follow it. They could care less about it. Am I right or wrong? I took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I view after January 6th, the Republican Party as a domestic enemy to our Constitution. I can't get any bolder than that, can I?
And you obviously saw the video that the student shot outside here, and that obviously elicited a lot of emotions for you. Just watching that.
The student shot
There were some students that shot the video of the chaos here yesterday.
No, I didn't even see it.
Oh, you didn't see it? Okay, I thought you did.
See it.
Okay.
The only thing I've seen is the murder.
The first week of this will up Wednesday. We've had promos. So here on Facebook.
1969.
Have you been back? Can you talk about that? Is this like
Do this
first time
every
back?
week.
No.
Wednesday, 2 till
Came back to
3.
homecoming 2 years ago. No. I'm a proud graduate. I held 3 school records in swimming, 2 District 17 records. Our football team was undefeated. We won. Back then, there were no playoffs. We played St. Paul Central for the Twin City Championship and defeated them. I think it was 21-6. And we did that at the old brick house, if you remember that, the old University of Minnesota. We used to play the Twin City Championship game. There weren't playoffs then.
Dave Winfield was on that Central team, wasn't he?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
We beat Dave Winfield.
Okay.
Abundantly clear about what you're doing, what you wanted to do at the school here today.
I just came here today to show my support as a graduate of Roosevelt and tell them how proud I was of what they did of keeping ICE off of this campus. This is a place of learning, and you learn things like the Constitution. You learn about warrants. You learn about things of that nature. And what we're getting right now is violating all that, what the kids are being taught. You want to know something? I'll give you a quote. We're a third world country now. You want to know why? I'm an expert. I've been to them. I spent 17 months in Southeast Asia while the draft dodger was playing golf. Right? You know how I know we're a third world country? Because in third world countries, they have the military doing their police work in the cities when you walk around. I was in the Philippines the day Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law and went under dictatorship. We went from nobody to a guy with a machine gun on every corner. That's what happens in a dictatorship. In comes the military. That's what's happening here. And people better wake up to it. You want to read something? Then read your history of Germany.
1930s,
and start comparing the
another history people can read?
Of what happened in
Russia in the
1930s
80s.
Germany to what's happening here. Read history.
That was a time when the only people that carried guns around in Russia was the military and police.
This is nothing new. This is all repeated. This is a game plan, it looks like to me, of what's going on here. How dare Minnesota? We'll take care of ourselves. We don't need federal troops coming in here without warrants.
Some people have said this undermines local law enforcement.
It undermines the entire Constitution. The military cannot be turned loose unless it's a national emergency. They're going to tell me this is a national emergency.
Message for Trump or message for Governor Walz?
Who was that? You mean the draft-dodging coward? I don't call him by name. He's the draft-dodging coward who, when it was his time to serve his country, he did what all rich white boys did. I wasn't a rich white boy. I grew up in South Minneapolis. Most of me and all my friends are Vietnam veterans. We had to go. But the rich white boys never had to go, did they? And he didn't have to go, did he? And yet he's going to tell me what courage is?
Are you supporting Governor Walz and Mayor Frey the way they've been outspoken towards?
Absolutely. Good for them and good for these people that stood up. They're teaching their students something, that we are a country, that we have to be a country of law and a country of the Constitution. They're all forgetting about the Constitution of the United States of America. We don't even have it anymore. After January 6th, are you kidding me? And then they all get turned loose, and now they're in charge. I gave up on this country when this guy got. I haven't even watched the news since last November. I stumbled onto this, and now look what you've done to me.
Well, thank you for stopping.
Here I was leading a nice, quiet life, and now you've injected me back in here, and probably going to make me the governor of Minnesota again.
And you seem fired up and motivated.
Because somebody needs to clean up what the Democrats and Republicans constantly wreck. And you notice I lump them together. You know, I should use my old name for them, the Democrips and the Republicans, which my apologies to the Crips and Bloods for using their name in that way.
And Governor, would you like to say anything about yesterday, what happened in the tragic situation?
Let's get to this. Here we go. Chuck Schumer must go.
Chuck Schumer is in his classic mode, which is, I want there to be enough problems with Trump, but not so much that it actually comes to me. Chuck Schumer is like the guy or the kid who's playing baseball and is sitting out in the field, and he's just sitting there
Chuck
going,
Schumer is the guy
please don't hit the ball.
kissing that little girl on the lips.
Please don't hit the ball. Please don't hit the ball to me. That's what Chuck Schumer's doing. The problem is that, like, you're the only person in the field. Like, the ball, if the ball's hit, you've got to deal with it. And he so desperately, like, Chuck Schumer went to bed every night for the past 5-6 weeks saying, please let there be no controversy until we get to this government shutdown vote. Please let there be no controversy until we get there. I don't want to be forced to actually exercise any of the leverage we have.
Yep.
Now, the House just passed an appropriations bill. Instead of doing it like in one big reconciliation thing, because they want to avoid that, they passed partial appropriations for, like, I think it was like the EPA, Interior, a couple of other agencies. More or less, there's definitely some cuts, but more or less, the equivalent of a continuing resolution.
Rejecting Trump's calls for more steep cuts.
But there still remains all the tricky things where the Democrats might have some disagreement with the Republicans.
Particularly DHS. DHS is not in this, is not Department of Homeland Security, aka ICE, obviously, not in this agreement.
And so you have the president of the United States just essentially, kidnapping another leader of a different country so that we could move the oil executives in and get their resources, which of course I think, Schumer was like, well, it's not the way I would do it, but we have now DHS shooting people dead. You have one tool at your disposal to actually do anything, and that is, we're going to cut the funding.
Yep.
Remember, DHS is getting hundreds of billions of dollars. They are going to be the wealthiest police force in the world.
ICE is the largest law enforcement agency by budget in the world, including in the United States.
They're bigger than some militaries. And he has the opportunity. And what does he do? We have now seen this video over and over again, right? And there's a contention. On one hand, the Trump administration has told a total pack of lies based upon video that we can see. And on the other hand, Chuck Schumer says...
Senator Schumer, do you have any comment on the shooting in Minnesota, the ICE vault shooting?
Well, I saw the video. It just turns your stomach. We need a quick and full investigation to get to the bottom of this. But when you have these ICE agents all over the streets of our cities without any cooperation with local law enforcement, local communities, tragedies, horrible tragedies, killings occur.
Wait.
What?
We need to get to the bottom of this?
And this is coming from Chuck Schumer? Oh,
what's the mystery here?
You know, the guy, one of the big guys in the Epstein camp. Yeah, that guy.
Of. And what is he talking about?
Tragedies
when
happen.
You don't have cooperation. So wait, he has a problem with New York City being a sanctuary city? Like what is
the law?
Is this a problem of a lack of cooperation?
Wow.
From Minneapolis PD, if they had cooperated, what? Like, what the hell is he saying? Is he not aware that there is a paramilitary, 2,100 paramilitary fighters have been dropped into Minneapolis, a city of, what, 450,000 people, who are masked and seemingly have no accountability to anyone. And the problem is there's a lack of cooperation from what?
Can we play it again? Actually, I'm sorry. I just want to get the passive language down here.
Sure. Do you have any comment on the shooting in Minnesota, the ice vault shooting?
Well, I saw the video. It just turns your stomach. We need a quick and full investigation to get to the bottom of this. But when you have these ICE agents all over the streets of our cities without any cooperation with local law enforcement, local communities, tragedies, horrible tragedies, killings occur.
You know what? You know, it's not a coincidence that he sounds exactly like some sort of Israeli official describing a child being killed in the West Bank or something like that.
It took no time for this to come back to us. I mean, Ta-Nehisi Coates put this up, Brian. Ta-Nehisi
like
Coates' statement started this. We had a moment right now where people are asking themselves, why can't the Democratic Party defend against this assault on democracy? And I would submit that if you can't draw the line at genocide, you probably can't draw the line at democracy. You can't.
You can't.
And Chuck Schumer will never be able to.
And I mean, that's unbelievable. Lack of cooperation with local law enforcement. He's basically criticizing the city of Minneapolis and leadership there as well for essentially saying that cops should be more coordinating with ICE. That's the problem here, not the fact that they are functionally, as AOC said, we played this in the fun half yesterday. They are a paramilitary force, to your point, that is an anti-civilian force at this point. They shouldn't be cooperating with local law enforcement. Schumer should be empowering, through his rhetoric, local law enforcement to go after ICE. Arrest them. His messaging, I mean, like, and I just want to emphasize this point in case people are just watching this clip and didn't see our interview with Jeet here. Elizabeth Warren is standing right next to him. She's a part of that so-called fight club that's in the Democratic Party right now in the Senate that supposedly is building up an alternative vision of leadership for the Democrats. The time is now. The time is now to call for his ouster. I know they're probably still building up the power that they need. They're still trying to get other senators on board. But my God, Republicans make a spectacle about their internal disagreement, and it has affected them nada electorally. Nothing. In fact,
it looks like democracy.
In fact, it looks like democracy. It's a performance of it. You get yourself in the news cycle, Trump sparring with other Republicans. They rode that to success. Air this disagreement out publicly because it looks like you're responding to the overwhelming base that wants you to rein in these lawless thugs. The numbers on this are staggering. An over 20-point increase in abolishing ICE in less than a year. And that's what the leader of the Democrats saying. The problem is that local law enforcement isn't collaborating with ICE. So change the news cycle and show that you'll be an opposition party. Call for his ouster. I'm sorry if it's awkward in the meetings. I'm sorry if it's not the right time because we still have the partial budget negotiations over the appropriations. Actually, it might be the best time.
Well, that's the thing, is he wants to ignore the existence of what is happening because he has the ability to wage a fight to prevent the funding of DHS. I mean, yes. He has the ability to do this and he doesn't want it. He is running away from any leverage he has deliberately. And so, you know, we've got to be measured about this. We've got to be measured. They have literally, understand, they did not shoot this person because they thought this person was a criminal, undocumented immigrant. They did not shoot this person because they thought this person was an undocumented immigrant. They did not shoot this person. They shot this person because they saw this person as a citizen who was pushing back against what they were doing.
Yep.
That means that, and they can take these steps. They've killed undocumented immigrants in their facilities.
Yeah.
We know that. They are just moving down the line. Anybody who gets in their way is going to face either being just scooped up, detained, shot, beaten, whatever it is. This is going on, and he is trying to hide from it. Does he have a problem with, here's Philadelphia DA Larry Krasner. Now, if Chuck Schumer says the problem is not enough cooperation from local law enforcement, does he have a problem with Krasner saying here?
If any law enforcement agent, any ICE agent is going to come to Philly to commit crimes, then you can get the F out of here. Because if you do that here, I will charge you with those crimes. You will be arrested. You will stand trial. You will be convicted, whether it's in state or federal court. It's my office prosecuting it. That's how the law works. And you will do your time because Donald Trump cannot pardon you for a state court conviction. Do you hear me, ICE agents? Do you hear me, National Guard? Do you hear me, military? You're going to jail if you commit crimes in the city of Philadelphia. You will be accountable. The law applies to all of you. And I know that there are honest, decent, moral law enforcement officers out there by the bushel, including in ICE. This is not for you. This is for any one of your colleagues who thinks they are above the law.
Understand that what that does, in the same way that these ICE thugs shooting a defenseless woman in the face puts a chill and scares other protesters, or is meant to scare other protesters. What that does is say, there's accountability here that none of your bosses can save you from. Now, Chuck Schumer has the opportunity to say this type of thing too. If Chuck Schumer thinks in his mind that, well, we're going to take the House, maybe we'll take the Senate in the fall, you then have the ability, even putting aside his ability to shove a wrench in the gears of appropriations and money going to fund this. He has the ability to say, think twice, because the day after we get sworn into office, we're going to haul your bosses up, and we'll haul individual agents in front of Congress. And we will pass laws, and we will hold you accountable. And it may take for 3 years from now, maybe it'll take 6 months, a year from now, but you will go to jail. There will be no forgiveness. There will be no forgetting here.
But the focus on the midterms, it's hard for me to know if it's an idea, if you're working backwards from your ideological predispositions to say that the midterms are the thing that you're focused on, or if you're genuinely convinced that standing up for your neighbors and immigrant communities is going to impact the midterms. Either way, the focus is so wrong, outdated, and has led us to this moment of fascism. When I had that debate on MSNBC with Catherine Rampell and the other guest that was like a centrist Republican or centrist Democrat or something like that, they were saying like, well, you have to focus on winning. How can you win in West Virginia without a Joe Manchin? Would you rather have a Republican in that seat? And my answer was that, well, if the Democrats had a different focus and it was more about delivering as opposed to winning winning and governing like the way Zoran's doing it, winning, not just winning elections, hoping the ball isn't hit to us so that we can just white knuckle it until the midterms in 2026, then perhaps we wouldn't have this back and forth. We could have like actual sustained control over Congress and actually wield power. But what I really do think is that at this point, it really is ideological for Schumer.
He's a passive income politics. He just wants to benefit passively from all this stuff.
When it just really hit me when you see Zoran Mamdani go out on CNN and MSNBC and explain to people what sanctuary city policies are. For so long, it's been used as you hear it exclusively on the right, where they talk about it as like liberals being soft on crime in cities and all of that. We could have had a pushback Democratic national messaging campaign that would have empowered attorneys general and mayors across the country to make sure that the worst of this stuff was curbed a little bit, because there have been no national Democrats that have explained that sanctuary city laws are legally binding. It's about protecting citizens.
Common sense.
And local officials standing up and saying, if you don't have a legal judicial warrant signed by a judge, you don't get to enter this space. And that's on the books. Why couldn't we have had national Democrats saying this? Why? Because Chuck Schumer doesn't believe in those sanctuary city laws. He just said it right there.
Collaborator.
He just said that he doesn't believe that there needs to be more collaboration with ICE. That's his problem with it. So that's essentially saying, like, you don't want to protect people. And that's part of the problem here. I mean,
almost the whole problem.
It's the whole problem.
And it should have been dealt with years ago. And the go back to 2016, people are like, oh, Chuck Schumer's going against Obama on the Iran deal. Is that going to hurt his political future? No, it cemented it. And Democrats need to address why that happened.
Yeah.
Roger from Ohio. I think Chuck Schumer is secretly a Republican. Bavarian fish tacos. Don't know if you saw body cam footage from the Minneapolis ICE agent who summarily executed poor Renee Good somehow and totally unexpectedly showed up on an alt-right neo-Nazi website and is now circulating on the larger internet. Feel free to verify, but it's popped up in my socials twice now. Cole from Little Rock. If the guy who murdered a girl on camera has no accountability, as I can already see with the case, you can believe that we will be seeing more free use of deadly force. The guy threatening them with actual consequences is the only thing that will dissuade ICE agents at this point.
And you need to hear more from like Jacob Fry, like saying the F word, get the fuck out of ICE. You need to follow it up with, we are going to use political authority in our office to prosecute you.
Yeah, I'm not so saying "F you" is not as effective as very politely saying you're going to face trial and you're going to go to jail, and we will arrest you, sir.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Hey, folks.
All right, let's play one more clip. We get out of here. I'll play some music, some montage. Remember earlier they were talking about that Robbie guy? Yeah, Robbie Rose Streamer.
I love partying with the frog. It's the new woke stock. All right, the not ready for primetime players. You got your super soakers. You got your fucking ballooning. Where are we going? We want us over here? Oh, we got the power march. What are we doing here?
And they try to say that he was blocking. He was on the sidewalk. They just didn't like the free speech. And that's what's coming down to, where ICE agents don't like your free speech. Can't wait Brian has Spirit House in this guy on the mall. That's the way to go.
Leave the giraffe alone! Let him go!
Free Robbie! Free Robbie! Free Robbie! Free Robbie! Free Robbie! All right, we'll play some music and I'll get out of here. Yeah, with that said, I'm out of here. My job. Peace out. Happy Wednesday, Hump Day, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck the blue and fuck ICE. Hashtag abolish ICE. Hashtag justice for Renee Nicole Good.
Work crew on the Discord, give me a signal.
Have a good day, everybody.
Ain't no pirates over here, boy, no parlay.
Wheeling it, ain't I?
Wheeling, come again, please. Absolutely T for tremendous.
Brand new from Benny. This one, track entitled Dark Carnival.
Go, everybody, hurry!
What a belter. That one is forthcoming on Viper, Asa Assad. The Viper crew. It's trouble.